Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N Network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today I'm going to be presenting to you episode 164 on the N.A.R.C.N Network, and the title of episode 164 is The Narcissists Texting Habits. So we've talked a little bit about this on the N.A.R.C.N Network before, but one of the members actually asked me some stuff about this a couple of days ago, and I decided to do like a little refresher video here on some stuff because some of the times that I've talked about this may have been earlier in the N.A.R.C.N series, maybe in the first 50 videos or so that I did, and people may not actually see those videos because they're quite some time back in the history of the channel. So we're just going to talk a little bit here about the narcissists and their particular texting habits, because as any of us know who have dealt with narcissists have very strange, peculiar texting habits, and of course there are reasons why they actually text like this, and why we have conversations like this with them. It's all due to the way that the narcissist is and the way that they have to conduct business in their daily lives. Because as we've talked about before, when you're dealing with a narcissist, especially if you're not aware that you are actually involved with a narcissist, and you're actually seeing some weird, strange things happen with them that don't seem to be logical, then these are probably some of the points we're going to make here and talk about as to why you may be seeing these particular texting behaviors with a particular individual. And one of the things that is definitely indicative of a narcissist texting habits with you is when you start to see inconsistency within the texts from the narcissist. And that is to say, let's say you're involved with a narcissist and you've been involved with this narcissist for some period of time now, a number of months, number of weeks, could be even longer than just a number of months. For that first period of time that you are actually dealing with most narcissists, when they're trying to get you into their fuel matrix and they're trying to groom you, they will be full on with you. They're writing you all the time. They're talking to you all the time. If you text them, they text you right away. You wake up first thing in the morning, and the first thing that happens is you have a text from that narcissist immediately in the morning saying, hey, you know, I thought I'd write you up. I was thinking about you, and that whatever it is that they may have texted you. You're going to see that immediately in the morning. When you text them during the day, you're going to see them returning text messages to you constantly all day long with no delay. There's going to be almost no gaps in their dialogue with you. And this can go on for weeks or months, you know. This is not to say that this is abnormal. Some husbands and wives text like this too. But very often when you're in a relationship with somebody, and once you've got into a secure point with that person, you see less and less text message conversations. You know, even when you're in a healthy relationship with somebody, you may see less of them. That's not necessarily the point that we're going to be making here. What we're going to be talking about is when you get along a little ways with the narcissist. Like I said, it could be a number of weeks or a number of months, and then suddenly this narcissist is not communicating, or this person, if you're not sure they're a narcissist, is suddenly not communicating with you the same way. You're sending them messages, and those messages are remaining unseen, or they're remaining unanswered for a period of hours, or possibly even days. Now, when this happens, you know, often we think, well, what's going on with this person? This person was full on with me at the beginning. You know, they were writing me and answering me and messaging me back constantly all the time, and it was like, you know, there was no lapse of time in between our conversations. They were the last person I spoke to before I went to bed at night, and they were the first person who messaged me when I got up first thing in the morning. And now it seems like I'm sending them messages and they're not returning these messages to me at all. What's going on here? Well, what's going on here is that the narcissist, or that person, they don't have time to return a text to you. Why? because they're too busy conversating and texting with somebody else, and that's what's going on. Now, you may say, well, how can I know this? Maybe they're just busy or whatever's going on in this instance. Yes, they could be busy, and often we do get busy in our lives, and we can't respond to a person right away. However, if that person serves some importance in your life, even if they're a new individual in your life or they're a new romantic interest in your life, commonly what we do behaviorally, and I know this through having studied psychology extensively, commonly we try to keep that person happy. We will try to return the dialogue with that person as quickly as we can so that we don't look like we're ignoring that person. We don't want another person that we care about and that we're interested in looking upon us like we're not interested. So we will try to continue that dialogue as much as we can to keep that person's attention, to keep that person's interest. And we will do this because we are genuinely interested in that person. Narcissists are genuinely interested in us in the grooming phase, in the acquisition phase. But once they have you locked in, they don't put as much effort into keeping up that dialogue with you. Why? Because they've got you locked in and they're talking to you constantly. They don't have to do that initial grooming work anymore or that acquisition work anymore. And now they are commonly doing this with somebody else. So they're either just talking to somebody else and that person is taking up most of their time and they're not returning your messages, or they are indeed involved with somebody else. Perhaps they're with somebody else while you're not around. You haven't seen them for a couple of days. They've been away for a couple of days. They're not returning very many of your text messages. You're writing them. Your messages are going unseen or unreplied to. They're busy with somebody else. That's what they're doing. They're spending their time and putting their effort and their attention into somebody else and not you. Why can I say this? Because I know this. I've been through this myself. I've studied this myself. And I can tell you there are a great many other narcissistic experts on the internet who will tell you exactly the same thing. This is what's going on with that particular texting habit. They are occupied and they cannot answer you. They are with somebody else and they cannot answer you. I had a person that I was dealing with on my N.A.R.C.N network about a year ago who I had a whole dialogue with all about this with them and their male love interest that they were into, who was a narcissist. They had spent a few years with this person. Everything was very beautiful right at the infancy of the relationship for the first couple of months, and then this stuff started happening all the time, just the way I just described to you guys. And this is only one example I can give to you. I have many examples from many N.A.R.C.N members who all have the same story to tell and exactly the same behavior to put forth to you as far as the texting habits of a narcissist. When they are not returning your text, they are busy with somebody else. They are busy spending time with somebody else, or they are simply busy talking to somebody else. They are busy grooming somebody else. They are busy. I can tell you this. When you don't see them sending you texts, when you don't see them on social media, they are someplace else doing something else with someone else. And this is why you are seeing these texting habits turn from that first thing I described to you, where they're full on with you and writing to you and messaging you every day and everything that in every way, first thing in the morning, they're full on with you, to this point where they barely return your messages to them. And when they do come back and they start texting you again, and they're talking to you full on again, and there seems to be nothing wrong, this is because they are not occupied with anybody at that moment. Nobody is around to take their attention. Nobody is around to actually give them fuel, but you're around. So you are the one getting all of the attention at the moment, because they are seeking that attention from you, and they can get it from you because you're showing interest there. And this is part of why that texting habit goes to, and turns to this. Suddenly, all the attention is on you again because they're able to get that attention from you and they want something from you. So this is part of why we see these particular texting habits going on with narcissists. This is just something I wanted to re-talk about here quickly. I may do a part 2 to this particular texting habits video where I bring up some other particular points, but we'll just call this part 1. for this, and I may come back and touch on this topic again shortly here in a couple of episodes. But anyway, this is what I just wanted to talk about with you guys, to give you guys a little refresher dialogue here on the texting habits of a narcissist and why you're seeing these particular behaviors out of them within your texting habits. So I'm just going to say to you guys, hope you guys have a great day. This has been episode 164, and stay tuned for some other content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network and on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel, and I'll catch you guys really soon. Have a great day.